next we had some insane news that a Deathstroke and Bane team up movie is coming from James Gunn's DC Studios.
Yeah.
I don't think it's clear yet whether this is going to be in, his DCU. I don't think the director's been attached yet. Because he has mentioned they will make Elseworld movies and shows. I do though. My prediction is that they will include this in their lineup of DCU movies. And I heard in the article that it was said that like they're not the only two people confirmed for this movie, right? And that this might not be just those two teaming up. It might be multiple members or villains teaming up together. And so I think a lot of people's thoughts is that this could be a Secret Six DC movie. And for those who don't know a lot about Secret Six, the main kind of idea behind them is that they're a group of villains formed by Lex Luthor, who kind of goes by the alias of Mockingbird, and then he tasked them with taking down, I think it's called the League of Supervillains in DC, that is like run by his clone. And so he's trying to like take back control, right? And I don't think the clone will come into play. I think it'll be somebody else. I think he wants to just like take control of he wants control again. And
meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom,
right? Like I think like on paper it sounds kind of ridiculous, but I don't think James Gunn is afraid to go in that direction. I think like he's all about like all things comic book, and I don't think anything is too fantastical. And like we know Lex Luthor already exists. Like, and I think we know James Gunn loves a superhero team or like a villain team. And I think this just flows right into it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and if that is the case, that like it's a secret group put together to take down this other organization, I can, as wacky as like the way that you described it sounds, like there's still a way to like bring that down to a pretty, for lack of a better word, grounded, setting or ground. It can be ground. It can be grounded, so it's not as ridiculous. Like we're not going to invade, and I can be mistaken, but we're not going to go to this swamp and go invade this, skull-shaped dome where all the super villains, are.
I don't think it'll be that ridiculous.
But. Yeah, I mean, on face value, just like with the facts that we do have, that a script is being developed by Matthew Orton, who was a scribe on Captain America: Brave New World.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of these two characters teaming up, I'm very, very not enthralled, but I'm very
intrigued.
It's intrigued and like titillated at this idea, because I'm like, what a weird pairing. But at the same time, if you don't go for a Bane that's like, if you go for a Bane who is more intelligent, because he wasn't always depicted as being, kind of dumbish and just a brute. Like he had tactical knowledge. He was very clever. He was the leader of his own gang. And then on top of that, very strong with all the venom that courses through him. And then you have Deathstroke, who's like a hired gun, and I'm sure I could see a way where like the two get together. But it is a very strange thing. But at the same time, it's like it's this kind of thinking that is really refreshing.
Like we're getting movies we've never seen before. Like nothing. Like yes, like we've seen so many different superhero and villain like movies and shows, but like I don't know. I think there is, like you're saying, like outside of the box thinking here, and we're not getting just your cookie cutter normal shit that we always get.
Yeah. So maybe it is the story that you're talking about with the Secret Six, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, if it's just these two, that's really odd. Like I think Secret Six makes a little more sense. Yeah, I can't imagine how like it's almost like they would have to be like reluctant, like a reluctant team up, like two cops who don't want to work together or something.
But I also like wonder, have we maybe, are we maybe doing this too much? Like we have Thunderbolts, we had 2 Suicide Squads, we had these bad guys, coming together and
right, like
doing
in his new universe, we're gonna have Creature Commandos, and we're gonna have the Authority, and we're gonna have the Justice League, and like that's, so he's having like a ton of different groups, and I feel like that's starting to become a theme. If like the Secret Six is actually confirmed to be in his universe,
right.
Like that'll be 4 confirmed groups, and then you also have like the backstory for this universe where it feels like Suicide Squad existed at one point. So they're another group, and yeah, I don't know. I don't mind the groups. I love a team up movie. I love the interactions between a team. It's why Guardians is one of my favorite properties. But I don't know. Yeah, we could be oversaturating the market. I don't know.
What if this is a Bat family issue, and we get introduced like they're both like coming out of like Blackgate or something, and Nightwing is like the person that they have to come up against.
Hey, if Nightwing is the antagonist because like we're following the villains, that would be amazing. I would love that. That'd be very cool to see, and it'd be interesting because I think we would be introduced to Nightwing in like the Brave and the Bold, the Batman they're doing. But then I think we would this would be a second appearance, and we would get to see like a different side of Nightwing, and I don't know, that could be really exciting. I love me some Nightwing. So yeah, music to my ears.
Yeah. So I mean, overall, could this be this could never come to fruition? Sure. This could also be terrible. This could also be amazing,
but it's intriguing.
But it's very intriguing because I just would have never thought of this combination. And obviously, there's a lot of details that are
not out yet.
We're not aware of. But the idea, the fact that it's being presented that we at least want these 2 characters to be on screen together. I'm like, I mean, if I get to see an on-screen Deathstroke, like a movie, I mean, we've seen it in like Titans, we've seen it in Arrow, we've seen it in other, but like I
know it. Like I wanted Joe Manganiello's like version so bad, man. I did.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, him versus Batman in a Ben Affleck like led Batman movie would have been something magical.
Let me say, it wouldn't be the case anymore, unfortunately. But back in like 2009, or even before that, a Stephen Lang Deathstroke would have been incredible. So Stephen Lang, he played the villain in the Avatar movie.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that could have been good. That
he was also really good. Like the old guy in Don't Breathe, where like he was like this blind guy Okay, well, it would have been great.
No, I agree. He's got like the exact build of what I look at in like a Deathstroke. So that makes a lot of sense. I think that's a better casting than Joe, like Manganiello, but I still would have
Joe. I'm like,
I definitely didn't buy him being the age they were presenting.
No,
that was my whole thing. But like he had a good look. I don't disagree with that. And it's a bummer we only ever got to see him really at the end of that. I think it was at the end of Batman v Superman, or was it Justice League?
I think it was.
I think it might have been. Yeah, I think you're right. It was the end of Justice League.
Yeah,
when he meets Lex on his boat, his yacht. Yeah. So
maybe they're still going with that, and Lex will be in charge of whatever this is. Maybe this is the start of how the Legion of Doom begins.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe they go a whole different route than that like 2005 run for the comics, and they don't have Lex Luthor as like a manipulative leader. Like he has like his own kind of goals that he wants to come to fruition. Yeah. It could go any way. Yeah.